Okay, time for another deathmatch. Who we got up this week? Well, it's the battle of the final wave, as it were. So, on the one hand, we have one of the last ones they produced, which is this one, the Oni Warlord, who likes to shove people in his cage if he gets the chance. And we've also got the other one that came out in the last wave for Fortress, which was this one, Odo Kuro. Basically the undead monstrosity who just stays where he is but pulls loads and loads of undead out. So yeah, we've got a Forest of the Dead one for Odo Kuro. Let's put them all the way over there on top of this kind of summoning portal pan, and there we go. Let's put the Oni Warlord there. Not much space to manoeuvre. Many of the Forest of the Dead tiles are actually quite compact, so couldn't find one that was really big. But so if Odo Kuro summons a lot, they're just going to be all on top of each other and fighting. Anyway, so there you go. That is the Odo Kuro sheet, like that. Odo Kuro, he's got endurance 4, so he can't take more than 4 from a hit. He doesn't move. He's immune to critical hits, and he will basically summon undead. Is mostly what it does. He also has the ability to basically reach out with that hand of his, try and grab you, and there is a potential to basically bite the head off and kill them. So, as the Oni Warlord isn't a summoner, he may worry about maybe the tables are turned, because normally it's been, if there's only been one enemy, there's been a risk of the Oni shoving it in the box and game over. Tables may be turned. Maybe Odo Kuro will grab hold of him, bite his head off, and that's it. Done. So yeah, I mean he does have some combat dice, but frankly they don't do a lot of damage. He mostly deals things out with his summoned friends, and that also gives him staying power because they're all there basically clogging up the board between one person and then trying to kill him. On the other hand, we have, here we go, the Oni Warlord, who's been quite successful so far. And what do we say about the Oni Warlord? Well, he's also got immune to critical hits and endurance 4, so same sort of staying power on that front. However, the comparison is that Odo Kuro only has 45 hits, whereas the Oni Warlord has 60. And I feel like all the Oni Warlord really does is just swing that club with a lot of damage, just like 5 combat dice with 8 damage, and then occasionally shove people in the box. And the club basically does affect everything in front of it. So, I mean, that's actually going to come into play. So, Odo Kuro is going to summon a lot of friends, and the Oni is just going to smack them all aside with a club. And effectively, it targets 2 at random, and everything in between gets hit by the club. And then, of course, at the end of the turn, he may shove someone in his cage. Right, okay. Who's going to win on this one? I'm going to go with the Oni Warlord on this. I think, unless Odo Kuro gets lucky with which friends he pulls out, and when he pulls them out, unless he gets lucky like that, the Oni Warlord is just going to beat him upside the head with the club, and that'll be the end of it. Okay, so start of the first turn. I don't think either of them have got any sort of end to fight effects. No. Okay. So we then move on to initiative. Initiative is 4 with the Oni Warlord for start. So the Oni Warlord basically targets Odo Kuro, steps up to get into melee range, and just swings that club. And so yeah, so five dice. Let me get some dice out. There's a fistful of dice. So 5 dice, hitting on 4 or more, and dealing 8 damage. So that is 2 that hit. So 2 sets of 8 damage. Defense of 4 on Odo Kuro. It's got quite a high defense. Unfortunately for Odo Kuro, it gets reduced the closer someone is. So I'm just going to check something on the other side. Yes, on the other side. If you're right up against them, like the Oni Warlord is now, the defense is basically -3, so it's only 1 defense. So that is 2 sets of swings that do 8 damage against defense points. That's 7, reduced to 4 because of endurance. So it's 2 sets of 4, 8 damage to Odo Kuro straight away. And I think we can probably say fairly reliably that's going to happen every turn. And that's it. And then end of turn, an adjacent hero to the Oni Warlord must make an agility test. So let's see if Odo Kuro gets shoved in a box. So he gets an extra 2 dice because there are only 1 or 2 heroes in the party at the moment, and it is 5 or more at this juncture. There's a 6. Odo Kuro is alright. He dodges out of the way of being shoved in the box. That'd be impressive if he managed that. And that is the Oni Warlord done. So over to Odo Kuro. And oh, sorry, I should have done. Sorry, I should have done a start of turn. There's no start of fight. There's a start of turn. Start of turn. Discover the top card of the low threat deck. So we're going to have the Spinning Fortress low threats for this. Let's get them out. There you are, low threats. Give them a shuffle. So who has Odo Kuro found in the soil? Odo Kuro is found. D3+1 Takubaki Spearman. Or if they come out, that's what we get. Okay, so we then go. Odo Kuro's attack has 6 dice attack, hitting on 4 or more. That is 4. 4 that will hit. Each does 4 damage. The Oni Warlord has a defense of 3, so it's 1 each. That is just 4 wounds. 1, 2, 3, 4. 4 wounds to the Oni Warlord. There we go. So, when attacking the random hero within each turn you reach, in addition to normal combat, roll a d8. So we're going for the Oni Warlord. D8 says 5. That hero must make an agility X or more test where X is a number rolled on D8, so 5 or more. Does not, so we roll 2d6 and see what Odo Kuro has done with his really long reach. He's done a 7. Ground slam, peril dice wounds, ignoring defense. Every other wounds takes blah blah blah. So actually deals to the Oni Warlord 3. Another 3 wounds. Like that. Ooh, it's death graspy thing. Okay. End of the turn. Odo Kuro will raise the dead. One random hero, the Oni Warlord, may attempt to stop this by making a spirit 6 or more check. Do we get 6 or more? No, that's a 1. Bounced off over there, but it is a 1. And no dead. If failed, draw a random card from the low threat discard pile and put those enemies into play, placed as normal on Odo Kuro's map tile. Then remove that threat from the game. If these keywords are not, so if these enemies are not already keyword undead, they gain undead as well, as +1 defense but -2 move. So the only one in the discard pile at the moment is these ones, the D3+1 Takubaki Spearman. So D3+1 Takubaki Spearman come back from the grave. How many? 4. So, 1 moment, and we'll just go get 4 Takubaki Spearmen. Here we go. 4 Takubaki. I'm holding that badly. There we go. 4 Takubaki Spearmen. Placed as normal, so let's have 1 there. And there. And there. Come on, underneath the elbow. And then there. Okay, so let's get up there. Enemy card. There we go. Takubaki Spearman. So they are basically hit on 3 or more with a combat dice, 3 combat dice, damage dealing 4. They regenerate, they heal 2 wounds, they also have armour of 5 or more. And they can attack up to 3 spaces away because they've got spears. They're now defense 4 because of the undead, and health 8. And their hit rolls of 6 or more do double damage because they apparently use Darkstone runes. So there we go, that's our Takubaki Spearman. And they'll have a high initiative, so they'll be going first. So that was the end of the turn. Start with the next turn. Who goes first? Takubaki Spearman. They're all fine where they are, so they all start stabbing the Oni Warlord. So that's going to be 12. And 12 dice. for all of them. They hit on 3 or more, so that one, and that one, and that one don't hit, so that is 8 hits in total, of which 3 are 6s. So, okay. So let's bring that out. Right, so those 5 there all do effectively 4 damage, so they're 1 damage per. So that's 5 damage to the Oni Warlord. These 3 all do 8, so that's 5, reduces by endurance to 4, so it's 3 sets of 4, so that's 12 damage. There we go. To the Oni Warlord. And then that's them done. Oh, so we should have done another low threat card from Odo Kuro. Odo Kuro has found Peril Dice +3 Feudal Bandits. Potentially raised from the dead. Right. That was Takabaki Spearman done. Next we then go to the Oni Warlord. So I think we'll just go left to right. So what? So we need to do, what do we need to have? We need to choose from 5. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 and ignore 6s. So the first target is this Spearman. The next target is that Spearman. So he's basically going to hit those 2 Spearmen. So he turns around, ignores Odo Kuro for a bit and swings at those 2. Right. So, what he does is he basically draws a straight line. There's no one else in the straight line. So, full combat against everyone. So, the first fella gets 5 dice, of which 4 will hit. So, that's 4 hits. So, that's 4 sets of 8. So, I've got to work it out. So, the defense force, that's 4 sets of 4. Right, so that will be 16 damage, but of course they do have armour, so I'm going to roll armour 16 times. So 4, 8, 12, 16. So the wounds on these are ignored on a 5 or more. 8 damage will kill them. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 is ignored, but 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 get through. That one bites the farm. They all got through. So the next one also gets hit with the club. Oh, and sorry, and the Oni Warlord heals every time he kills something he attacks, so he gets D6 wounds. So he heals D6 wounds. Heals 6. Okay, and then swings at the other Spearman. 5 dice hitting on 4 more. 2. So that is 2 sets of 8. So that's 2 sets of 4 after defense. So that is 8 damage, which this Spearman may then use its armour against. It seems this one's probably going to live. 5 more. Yeah, it saves 2. So it takes 6. That's handy. Takes 6 and lives. And then the end of the move, a random hero adjacent to us. It's either going to be Odo Kuro, or it's going to be this Spearman. There's a Spearman at the back underneath the elbow. I mean, you can't really see, so I'll change angles around, rotate like that. Of course, now you can't see the wounded Spearman, but never mind. So this fella or Odo Kuro. So I guess odds that that fella evens Odo Kuro. Odds is that Spearman. Now there's more than 1 or 2, so this fella's got 1 dice to make an agility 5 or more, gets shoved in a box. He did, he made it, he got out of the way. So, that is, where have we gone? Right, so that was the Oni. Then it's Odo Kuro. So Odo Kuro is going to have its 6 attacks against the Oni Warlord. Ooh. That is 1, 2, 3, 4. That is 4 that will hit. So that's going to be 4 damage. Straight up. Goes for a Death Grasp. So roll D8. D8 is a 5 again. So it needs to roll a 5 or more. Does. So the Oni Warlord dodges the Death Grasp. Okay. We then have the end of the turn. Does the Oni Warlord resist the raising of the dead? 5. No, it doesn't need a 6 or more. So, peril dice plus 3 feudal bandits appear. How many? 8. Wow. That's a low threat. 8 feudal bandits appear. These ones have a variety of different poses. If you've seen the sort of the video I did for those, as you can see, there's like some that are sort of down, looking sternly forwards, and there's the classic "I've got a sword behind me, but you can't see it" pose. There we go. So there's 8 of those appear. Normal placement rules, it says. So 1, 2, can't go there, can't go there, can't go there. 3, 4, 5, 6, and then start filling up here. 7, I suppose you could put 1 there. 8. Lots of feudal bandits. So let's have a look at feudal bandits. How are they? Probably not that hard if you're going to have that many as a low threat. There you go. There are your feudal bandits. You see they're initiative 5. They have sneaky, so they get 1 combat for each other feudal bandit adjacent to themselves. So when they're going to pile in on the Oni, he's going to be in a bit of trouble there. They do +1 damage for each feudal bandit adjacent to him, including yourself. So they're really going to pile in and bundle in on that and do a load of damage. They have 3 combat, obviously plus whatever it is they get from getting up. They do 3 damage per, obviously plus whatever their overwhelm ability is. Their defense is 4 because they are undead now. But they only have 5 health, so they are pretty much going to get smacked aside and be a source of healing for the Oni Warlord if it can survive being mobbed. Okie dokie, right. So, start of the turn, we need another undead. And the undead is going to be some undead Chocoboki lanterns, peril dice Chocoboki lanterns. Chocoboki, whatever. Top of the initiative is, so start of the turn I should say, Takabaki, this one over here heals 2 wounds, so he goes down to 4. Okay, and then it is actually for Takabaki to go. So they all go stabbing the Oni Warlord, so 3 of them, so that is 9 dice this time. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. They hit on 3 or more, so that is all but 1. So that is 8 that hit, only 1 6 though. So the 7 that don't roll 6 do 7 sets 4 damage. So that's 7 sets of 1 after defense, so it is 7 damage. Like that. The 6 does 8 damage, unless the 3 is 5, endurance reduces it to 4. Okay, like that. So that was the spearmen, they're done. The bandits, right, they can all, well, not quite all, so 1, 2, they're all in. This fella can't really go anywhere, so he just sort of stands there waiting. So there is now 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I'll turn it around so you can see the other side as the, say it all, oops, can't keep those wounds with that one. So actually 7 feudal bandits in total having a go at the Oni Warlord. Right. So that means, right, they've got to work them out. So this one doesn't have any, gives none adjacent to him. So this one's only got 3 attacks. Let's do them one by one. So this fellow has 3 attacks. And the damage is going to be, on a 6, it gets an extra 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And it's not going to do any damage unless it rolls 6s. So 3 dice, any 6s. 1 6. So it does an extra 7 damage, which gets reduced to 4 by endurance. This one is going to get 1 extra combat because it's got 1 extra. That's 4. Is it going to get a 6? It does. So that's another set of 4. This one's going to get 2 extra. Oh no, 3 because there's no fell there. So he gets 6 dice. Any 6s. 1. So that's another set of 4. So I think Oni's just going to get mobbed by a swarm of bandits. This one's got 2, so he gets 5 dice attack. Any 6s? No. This one gets 6 dice to attack. Any 6s? 1. So another set of 4. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4. This fella gets 2 extra, so he's going to be swinging on 5. 3 6s, 3 6s, so that is 12 damage. What are we on now? 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, and that's killed him. Well, I was not expecting that. I think this statement of, if Odo Kuro gets the right enemies, the right support has come through. Feudal bandits. So yeah, the Oni Warlord basically gets taken down by a bunch of bandits. There we go, he's gone. No one in the cage. Off he goes. And Odo Kuro, master of the undead, ratchets up a win. Purely off, I think it really was these little bandit fellas. Oops. Dropped him. He's alright, he's good. Yeah, these little bandit fellas. So many of them, they just mobbed him in one turn. I think that was like half his hits in one go. Didn't get a chance to swing the club, didn't get a chance to get his hits back. But yeah, this week's winner, Odo Kuro.